Hey, I want to show you a new feature that I built in Supermail that makes it possible to launch an email client on your user's machine so they can send an email to you. Before that, though, quick primer on Supermail. I created this gem, I think it was last week, just because I got tired of all the levels of indirection that ActionMailer has in it. I wanted something like this, right? If I send an email, I should just remember I want to send the user welcome email. I need to send a person in here. Actually, this should probably be namespace and person. And it should kind of look and feel like an email. So you can see here, we're sending it to the person.email. We have a subject. And then, of course, you create an instance of that and call deliver on it, and it delivers the email. Just like this. All right, that's exactly what you'd expect, right, from some kind of mail type library that works on Rails. But the other cool thing, since this is a much simpler abstraction, is you can actually link to emails and generate these mailto links, which is very handy. In this case, what I'm doing is I have a support interaction that's specific for payments. I'm actually using this on the beautifulruby.com website, which I'll show you. In this case, we're creating an instance of it, and then it's generating a mailto link. So let's actually look at the flow where this thing might be useful. All right, so here's the Flex on Rails course. I have a checkout link for it. So if you pre-order, by the way, the prices are going up on this once this stuff's done. This is sandbox mode, though, so we're in this payment flow. Great, that's fine. But what happens if there's a problem in the payment flow and the user goes back? I show a page, right? Somebody had a problem paying for whatever reason, and I have this link here, email Beautiful Ruby for help. So whenever the user clicks that, it shows them this email. And then they can send me a message. I get this ID from them, and I can look that up in Stripe to try to figure out what happened. There's just less back and forth in this scenario. All right, let's take a look, though, at how this code is actually implemented. So here's the payments controller. You can see that we have this unpaid view, which takes an email, which is an instance of the email that we just created. And we can see here is the link, right? Email Beautiful Ruby. And all we're saying is like, hey, here's email, and then we want to generate the mailto on this thing. And let's actually look at where this email instance is created right here. So if it's unpaid in the controller, this is if you hit the back button. You can see we pass a checkout session in this thing so we can get that ID. And we create an instance of that and render the unpaid component, which is where we get our email. So let's actually look at what the support email source looks like. And I actually don't need all these. But you could have that in there if you wanted to. But you can see, like, we open this. Here's our checkout session. There's the subject, right? And then we have our body right here. And, of course, there's the checkout session ID. If I wanted to get fancier with this, I could probably generate a link to the actual, like, location in Stripe. So I could just click on that and log in and see it. But for now, I just have this. But the important thing here is, like, this is just very clear. I don't have to guess, oh, geez, how do I initialize this thing? I know that I'm just creating an instance of a support email. And then I'm giving it a checkout session, and it's generating what I would expect. So let's actually go behind the scenes to see what is actually generating this. We have application email that inherits from Supermail Rails base. So we're actually going to open the source for Supermail. Oops, bundle open Supermail. And then if we look at supermail.rb, you can see we have a handy little method here. Mailto is mail_to, so who cares? Just type that in. This is just a function, and it's just generating the href that you would pass into a URL. You don't have to use Flex for it like I am, but I use Flex to build everything. This function would actually work inside of a Rails link to, but obviously I use this function to generate a mailto link, and we can see that here. Like, this is what you're passing the hyperlink mailto, and then it's generating the query params for it. So it's going to give you to, from, CC, BCC, subject, and body, and all that stuff. And that's all the things that those client-side email query parameters support. I don't really need anything more than that, but this is kind of cool, right? It's a very simple function. I mean, there's some encoding that I have to worry about. I can't just use, like, URL escaping, because I get a lot of pluses in there. It has to be the space 20. But it ends up being very powerful because I was able to simplify the abstraction and make emails actually look like emails instead of kind of the way Rails is abstracting emails with ActionMailer. I think it's trying to make them look and feel kind of like a controller, which that doesn't land. Email should be emails. Email should not be contorted into this thing that's trying to look like an HTTP controller. That's a completely different abstraction. So check it out. If you want to install the gem. By the way, this gem, it actually works with ActionMail. So another thing I should show you. I didn't make this clear before, but whenever you call deliver, it's actually delegating that to ActionMail. So you can see here, we're using ActionMail to create the mail object, and then you can just call these deliver methods on it, and it works. Just kind of how you would deliver a mail in Rails, but without the convoluted user mailers. Find the method name. Do I initialize it with? Do I pass parameters in there through with, or am I passing parameters in the function name? Like, you don't have to worry about any of that. You just initialize the email class with whatever it is you want to do, and then you would call deliver on this thing. If you want to do that, if you want to deliver it from the server, or in the case of wanting to show this thing in a link, you can call the mailto method on it, and you get that nice mailto href that you can pass into a URL. All right. So again, if you want to check this gem out, it's at github.com/beautifulruby/supermail. Check it out. If you want to support more open source projects like this, check out the course that I've been working on. This is Flex on Rails. I think it's a great way to build nice front ends for Rails. I know there's a lot of different opinions on this, but check it out. Thanks.